Hi everyone, my name's Still Not, and welcome to lesson 4.2, which is where we're going to introduce TailwindCSS and get that running in our code sandbox project. Last video we went over React.js, and that was pretty simple. Tailwind's going to be a little bit more complicated, but it shouldn't be too bad. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to go to our React project that we created last episode, and you should go right here. And you're going to click this little sandbox thing in the top left and open up this dependencies kind of menu. And you're going to go back to our notes page, and you're going to copy the first thing. You can type it in, but I'm going to copy it. And we're going to copy TailwindCSS. And we're just going to paste that into the dependencies and click on the first one that comes up here. So 3.4.1, they might have updated it, but just click on the first one, and it should say TailwindCSS. So once we click on that, it's going to start installing Tailwind, and we don't really need to worry about it. That's the beauty of Code Sandbox. But next thing we're going to do is install Post CSS as well. And same thing here, same deal. Just install the first one. Should also start installing this one. And we're also going to install Auto Prefixer. And these are the three kind of packages that we need. And basically what we're doing is we're installing dependencies for our project, which are kind of like think of it as a Minecraft mod. You know, you have vanilla Minecraft, but in order to have more features, you install mods. That's kind of what dependencies are, honestly. And Tailwind is a mod that makes your styling and all stuff like that a lot better. So you don't need to use CSS and all this sort of stuff. And yeah, we have an error right here, but that's probably because we just installed our app and now we have to restart it. So all we're going to do is just click this little restart button, which should open up our app again, and so you should be able to just click yes, and the port doesn't really matter in this case, but if that happens, just click yes to that. And here we're not going to have our Tailwind CSS just yet. We installed the mods, but now we have to actually set the mods up. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to copy this right here, all this code. We can copy it like that, or we just copy it, and we are going to close this dependencies thing and click sandbox. And once we click sandbox, we're going to click in this kind of gray space so that we're in the full file, and then right click and create a new file and call this tailwind.config.js. And so you might forget what the name is, but just tailwind.config.js. So once we have that, it should save. We're going to paste this stuff into our tailwind.config.js and then save this. And once you have that saved, we're not done just yet. We're going to now import Tailwind CSS in our main CSS file. You can kind of see our main CSS file is this styles.css file. And we're just going to move the stuff down and import this at the top. And this is just some more setup stuff we have to do for Tailwind. And now we have just one more step, and that is copy just this line of code, which is the script. And we are going to open the public folder and go to HTML. And once you are in HTML, you see this head thing right here. Inside of the head section, you're just going to paste in now this line of code and save that. In that, just now added some Tailwind CSS, and if you've set everything up correctly, then you should be able to copy the code right here and just paste that in. And you might need to get rid of the comment, but yeah. So now you can see that Tailwind CSS is working. We actually have a styled kind of component. And you can kind of see that. I mean, the nice thing about Tailwind CSS is that there's a whole big list of so each in CSS you can style anything in certain ways using certain properties, and in order to do that, you have to give it a class name, which is kind of a name of something, and then you have to write a code under it, so CSS example, right? So how this, I'll pull up. So you can kind of see here that we have style, right? And this is basically you have to create a style thing in an HTML file, and then declare each class you have. So my body, I want to give it a background color of blue. And when I just like, it's just a whole lot of extra steps, right? But when you're using Tailwind, all you have to do is make your section right here, like a paragraph, for example, right? And so I have some text named "Hi Nivaro," and actually I'm going to put this outside of this, and I'm gonna get an error here, and that's not because I did anything wrong, but that's just going back to last unit about React. One of the issues you might have is that React can only export one div. What that basically means is it can only export one section. So if you have two divs like I had here before, or two sections, like a paragraph and a div, that's technically two separate sections. So you have to create kind of an empty guiding thing, and then it should work. And you see it just as I did here, refresh, and it should put this outside of it. And yeah. And so you can kind of see that I have this "Hi Nivaro" text, right? But if I want to make it bold, instead of having to, instead of having to do anything, I could just do font bold, and it should make it bold. And there's all these different Tailwind CSS properties that you might need to use. So yeah, so you can see all of these properties, and I'll drop a link to this in the comment, or you can just look up Tailwind CSS. But there's all these different ways of editing stuff and making, styling your whatever. But, like, for example, if I want to change, where's the background? So I'll change the background color. And yeah, so if I want to change the background color, just background, whatever color I want, and go back here, and I'll change the background of this from white to that indigo color. And you can see it change it to an indigo color. And that's kind of the basic setup of Tailwind. This unit was a very kind of setup oriented thing on Code Sandbox. How to set up React.js, how to set up Tailwind. But what I'm trying to say is that you can there's so much to learn in terms of React and Tailwind, and that's what we're going to go on through, especially through next video, where I'm actually going to develop and make this AI chatbot. But I'm gonna include some notes and some videos in this unit 4, which are videos you can dive into further if you need help with React. But that's also what we have this Nivaro chatbot with. So you have any questions during you say you're confused about what React is. What is React? Explain it to me like I'm a 5-year-old, right? You can ask it any question and it'll help you in any way possible, right? So the way that we're doing Nivaro, at least, is we're teaching you the basics and how stuff works and what you should be doing, but we're not going to go very in depth. And this right here, our chatbot, is how you go in depth because it's tailored towards you. And so you have this basis right here. You can literally create anything at this point. You have this website that has a URL that you can show to anyone. But in the next unit especially, we're going to be going through and actually making a chatbot and giving you a basis for how to start things. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you learned a lot. And yeah, thank you.